How important are high school grades? High school grades is the #1 thing that the admissions officers look at when they evaluate applicants. And so you really want to have a 4.0 or at least a 3.9 unweighted GPA. The unweighted GPA is the first thing I look at because that really tells me how many B's you have on your transcript. So if you have a 3.9 unweighted GPA, that means you probably don't have more than 2 or 3 B's, and hopefully they came at freshman year and ideally not in core courses. So maybe you had those B's in like Spanish or art or music and they came in your freshman year. That is much more impactful than if you had the B's coming in junior year in core courses like math, English, or history, or physics. That is not ideal. And so the high school transcript, the unweighted GPA, really tells me the strength of your grades. Now, the weighted GPA, what that tells me is your course rigor. How many AP or honor courses have you taken, especially AP courses? So ideally, we want to see at the minimum 5 AP exams or courses through the conclusion of junior year. That will get you the AP Scholar with distinction. And ideally, you take 8 APs exams through the conclusion of your junior year, because that represents the top 1% of students in the country, which is the National AP Scholar, which is actually an award that has been discontinued. So it's no longer around, but in the past they did have the National AP Scholar Award, which represents the top 1% of students in the country. Your high school transcript, again, is the #1 factor that they look at. Obviously, there's things like your extracurricular activities, your research, your nonprofit, your passion projects, your school clubs and organizations, certainly, but the transcript is the most important piece. Now, with that being said, while it is the most important piece, it's not going to be the factor that's going to get you in. The reason for this is there's just way too many students who have 4.0 GPAs. So if you really want to stand out, certainly you need a 4.0 or a 3.9 unweighted, but after that, it really will come down to your course rigor. How many AP exams have you taken through the conclusion of your junior year? Remember, your senior year doesn't matter because your senior year, they won't see the AP exams. You still have to show the rigor of your course load on your transcript, but you won't have the AP exam scores by the time you apply. You will already have applied. The application's due in November for the early applications or January 1st for the regular applications, and you won't get your AP scores back until after the fact of your senior year, usually in June or July. With that being said, your transcript is super important. Take as many APs and as many AP exams as possible. We only report 4s and 5s on the transcript. Your course rigor is super important, as well as your unweighted and weighted GPA. Your weighted GPA usually get a 0.5 plus for honors courses and an extra point for AP courses. If you like what we had to talk about today, give us a like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll be sharing more tips and advice when it comes to the college admissions process.